Mr. Speaker. The House is resumed for the extended sitting. Call on Members' Order of the Day number 10.
Inquiry into the identification, rehabilitation and care and protection of child offenders.
Speaker.
Visitor Sam Lotu-Iiga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House take note of the report of the Social Services Committee on the inquiry into the identification, rehabilitation and care and protection of child offenders. Mr. Speaker, the Social Services Committee have produced this report as a result of our inquiry into the way child offenders are dealt with by our justice system. It also provides an assessment of the effectiveness of the current care and protection model in identifying and rehabilitating child offenders. Sir, this is an important issue in my local community in Maungakea, and the committee believes it's an important issue across the various communities that form our nation. 17 submissions were received from professional and non-government organisations, service providers, individuals and the courts. We also considered advice from the Ministry of Social Development, the New Zealand Police and the Ministry of Justice. Our terms of reference of the committee's inquiry covered 4 key areas. First, identifying potential child offenders. Secondly, the effectiveness of rehabilitative programs. Thirdly, the care and protection referral process. And lastly, the effectiveness of the care and protection mode. Mr. Speaker, the law defines child offenders as over the age of 10 and under the age of 14 under the Child, Young Persons and Their Families Act 1989. And these offenders have, and I quote, committed an offence or offences the number, nature or magnitude of which is such as to give serious concern for the well-being of the child. There were concerns around delays in processes to deal with child offenders, especially between apprehension and resolution. We know that some child offenders continue offending after they are caught, simply because we lack the tools to address their offending before their case is resolved. While we cannot treat children as adults, that interim offending needs addressing. The report also makes a number of recommendations designed to change government responses from a model too focused on what works for agencies to a model focused on best practice and what works for these children and their families. This, I believe, sir, is a conversation our community needs to have, it needs to address, and this report is certainly a step in the right direction. It is about getting behind our young people and making sure we are putting them on the right track to success in life. And it complements, sir, the programs that have been undertaken by this national government since our coming into administration in November 2008. So what are we doing? Well, our focus is on building a safer New Zealand. We've embarked on a comprehensive program of reform to protect communities, prevent crime and put victims first. The Children, Young Persons and Their Families Act, Amendment Act, of 2010 created a dual-track system by empowering the youth court to deal with children aged 12 and 13 who commit serious offences. By the end of January 2012, 9 of the 19, 12 and 13-year-olds referred to the youth court had either been referred to the family court for resolution or dealt with by other means, for example, through family group conferences. 12 and 13-year-olds cannot be transferred to the district court for sentencing. The only means by which a child can be dealt with by adult criminal courts is if they are charged with murder or manslaughter or if they elect trial by jury. Sir, this national government is staying tough on criminals, keeping keeping record numbers of police on the beat and ensuring the justice system focuses on the rights of victims. We're firmly committed to reducing child offending and youth crime, and this is highlighted by some of the policy changes to date. As the Chairman of the Social Services Committee, this report has many sound recommendations that will address the serious issues facing our youth today and into the future. Our government has already acted in the interests of our youth, their families and our communities. I commend this report to the House.
Thank you. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Members, our bell sounds a bit feeble this morning. I'll see how we go. Jacinda Ardern.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.